Guys, if there's one thing we love more than talking about reality TV, it's a good vacation.
Sometimes you just need to escape the drama. Am I right?
You're not wrong. And there's no better place to escape to than Spectrum Resorts, rated a top 10 family beach resort with 2 amazing full-service beachfront properties.
Turquoise Place and the Beach Club Resort and Spa in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
There she is.
Guys, we recently got back from Turquoise Place, and let me tell you, this was next level vacationing.
Shout out to that complimentary breakfast, our beautiful balcony overlooking the white sand beaches, and that gorgeous water.
Plus, the on-site dining, shopping, spa services, resort-style pools, and more. Can we please go back?
I'm counting down the days, Teresa. And if you guys want an amazing getaway, right now we can save you $200 off your next reservation by using promo code POD1.
That's right. Just make sure you book directly through Spectrum Resorts and use promo code POD1 to save $200. As always, I'll have John put links in the show notes.
Thank you to Spectrum Resorts for this incredible getaway and for sponsoring this podcast. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Match Me Abroad edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa right there.
Hello.
Oh, Teresa.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Oh, let us finish the way we started.
Ahoj, ahoj. Jak se všichni máte?
It's only right.
No. I was thinking about it.
It's only right, Teresa, that we finish the way we start.
I almost got it right.
Almost.
Almost. But you're right. I mean, who am I if I didn't mess up the intro?
We're keeping it real over here.
Exactly. It's the finale, so I may as well be real.
Yeah, and we were a little sad.
Sad.
There's a lot weighing on us.
So sad, but it's so good. I'm gonna miss the show, and I'm hoping they will come up with another season and go back to the Czech Republic.
Go back to the Czech Republic. There's a few other places I think I'd like to see, and this is a different type of show. We talked about it at length before, but there's no real resolution except for, and we got it, the little on-screen text at the end that says, well, this was a big bust. Better luck next time. At least we got that. But as this episode is winding down, I was thinking this would be great finale, or this would be great tell-all fodder to get these people on a stage. And then I said, no, it wouldn't be, because they don't know each other really. They've gone on 2 dates with each other. There's no history. There's no backstory. There's nothing that's on the line here. So it actually would be a terrible tell-all.
I would like it. I would like to hear both sides in a different setting, not just on the date, just a couple months later. Are you talking? Are you not? What's happening? How was the date or dates?
Well, here's what I would like too, in addition to that. Tell us who you are, matchmakers. What is your history? How did you land on this show? Because we heard a little bit about them on the first episode. I want to know more. I'd like to dig in and really get some details on Juan, if that is his real name.
I think out of all 3 of our matchmakers, probably Katerina's the only legit one.
Okay. We know why she's your favorite.
Did you see The Office?
Okay. We know why she's your favorite.
I think Nina has potentials, but she needs to listen to her clients a little more. Juan, who is he?
Stinks.
Who is he? He needs to just quit and find something else in life to do.
The match for this season with Juan was Chad. He was just looking for a friend. He was not looking to match anyone with a potential lover.
Like, he didn't set up anyone with anyone who they could potentially marry.
No. This was a big failure on Juan's part.
Big failure. However, I love Chad. Yeah. I love the whole story.
Well, I don't know if I even like saying that I like Chad anymore, because he's...
I don't like Chad. I love watching Chad. Let me rephrase. I love the storyline.
He's borderline verbally abusive.
Oh, absolutely.
And with one more whiskey, possibly beyond verbally, which I won't even put that out there.
I think he needs to find a balance between being drunk and getting a little bit to get some courage.
Sure.
Because this was not good. And when he's sober, he seems like a nice dude.
That's why we were misled. We fell for it. The sweet Southerner act.
I hate to say this. There are a lot of people who have drinking problems when it comes to how they behave, how they act. Not necessarily, oh, you're an alcoholic, but, oh, shoot,
Right.
if I
Can't
have
handle.
3+ whiskeys, I become aggressive.
Right.
And it's hard for those people to even admit it, because then you wake up, you're like, shit, I probably shouldn't have done it. Let me apologize. But, that works once, maybe twice. If that's who you are, then you need to revisit the whole drinking thing.
Well, enough about Teresa. Let's get into...
You have to take it back.
I'm joking.
Drunk Teresa is just lovely.
The worst thing Teresa does when she gets drunk is fall asleep. I wish she could stay up and abuse me a little bit. That'd be more fun.
I don't always
It's just
fall
like,
asleep.
I just had my second tequila.
That's not true. I'm getting old.
Like, don't you want to slap me around a little bit? Come on, let's have some fun. Anyways.
You wait for it, because we are on a vacation.
Oh, yeah. There's no vacation for the podcast. The podcast, if
Exactly.
you guys could see this setup, we're in some young boy's bedroom.
That's not true. This is not a children's room.
I mean, look at the TV. The TV is about 16 inches. We watched the episode on it. And this is what my bedroom looked like from 5 years old to 25 years old.
I feel bad for you. This is way too mature.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Well, it's blue. It's got a tiny TV.
Because it's coastal.
Oh, that's true. We're in Maine.
We are in one of my top 2 favorite states.
Shout out to the only state that's a single syllable.
Maine. Is
Maine.
it true?
Name another. Don't name another because you can. Yeah, we're in Maine. It's the family vacay.
Yes, it's a family vacation. We rented this nice coastal house.
Not to talk about another show, but we always watch 90 Day by ourselves. And we did so that we could record the pod. But then we watched it again because my sister, shout out to Rachel, huge 90 Day fan.
Yes.
And so she wanted to watch it when she had the time. And so we said, we'll watch it with you. And it's so interesting to watch with other people and hear their reactions because we hear ours. We know our reactions, obviously, and how we feel about certain people. But to hear your family members' reactions and to hear your mom talk about Big Perv.
Was your mom talking about Big Perv?
She's like, I haven't seen this show since, what was that guy with no neck? Big Perv? It's like, actually, yes, Mom, that's correct.
Yeah, and then we asked our brother-in-law, Dan. It's like, oh, Dan, do you watch the show? He's like, it's not really sometimes. And then he knows
everything about it.
Everything.
Classic guy.
Classic guy.
All the guys pretend they don't watch it. Well, I think my wife has it on in the back.
yeah.
Oh, you watch it.
They all watch it, and they all love it, as we do.
Yeah. All right. So here we are. We are here not to talk about our family vacation, but to talk about Match Me Abroad.
Wait a minute. What about our classic?
I was going to get to it.
Oh, I thought you forgot because you are on a vacation.
No, of course not. What Teresa's talking about is the business. Real quick, we're on Patreon. We're on Supercast. For just $3 a month, you can get ad-free versions of everything on the free feed. So no ads, no housekeeping, just pure uninterrupted episodes.
Yes.
You don't have to listen to this whole thing. So that's the $3 tier. Then if you want bonus content, we're covering the other way. Jump on the Cousins Club, audio only, or the Family Affair level, audio and video of the other way.
And a bonus.
Plus a monthly bonus. So Patreon, Supercast, check it out. marriedtoreality.supercast.com or patreon.com/marriedtoreality. Also, we're on Instagram at marriedtorealitypod. We post memes. We share updates. We love talking with you guys. So you can message us there at marriedtorealitypod on Instagram and Threads, because I think that's still a thing.
I guess. It is. It is, but I don't think it's taken off as much as people thought it would.
No, I don't think so. So Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Also, make sure you're giving us a follow wherever you're listening right now. So easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot. Yes, this whole freaking season, this show.
Poetic.
Because it was the first of a kind and we freaking loved it.
Suckers for it.
So hot. So hot.
All right. So
hot.
Okay, smash it like it's that high. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. We're suckers for love, too. So if you haven't left one, if you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on the Monday podcast.
Yes.
For everyone to hear. All right.
Are you ready to dive into the last episode of the infamous Match Me Abroad season?
Infamous. Otherwise known as infamous.
You see, it should be infamous. You know why, right? You're famous and then you're infamous.
Uh-huh.
It's a little silly.
All right. Well,
it's a little silly.
All right.
It's the same
Spoken
thing.
like a true foreigner.
It's the same thing as that one state,
Maine?
the Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas. Well,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Should
Okay.
be- yeah.
Let's do it. Match Me Abroad, Season 1, Episode 13, a.k.a. the finale.
Let's start with not our boy Chad, but just with Chad.
There's a chance for him to be our boy Chad, and then he kind of went and blew it. Became a
So,
real asshole. Became a
Speaking of blowing it,
real
blowing
drunk
it.
ass.
Uh-huh.
He's blowing smoke on my ass, showing his ass. Guy cannot stop talking about ass. Didn't get any ass.
He needs a lesson on how to behave around women
He needs a lesson
and
on,
people in general.
he needs a lesson on how to behave outside of small town Tennessee.
Outside of his yard.
Outside of my yard, yeah.
You can curse at your yard, but don't bring it to literally anywhere outside of the yard.
Yeah, we open up, right? He's still on that failing date with Maria, showcasing just why his prior engagements didn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's trying to pretend I'm acting the way I am because I've been scorned so many times. No, your relationships failed because look at how you act.
Yes. He really needs some, I don't want to say a therapist, but he needs to talk to someone about his anger and about his failed relationship, but not to Juan, someone who can help him move forward.
Yeah, definitely not Juan.
Right? And someone who can tell him that slowing down, taking time, maybe building friendships first might be the way for him because of all the failed relationship. And I can see, as you said, I can see why. Because we picked up where we left off. He's storming off, yelling, I'm 40 years old. I ain't time for this bullshit.
I was surprised Maria
Oh, boy.
chased after him. I would have been like, good riddance. We'll see you later.
I think she knew she's being on TV and she
True.
maybe wanted to smooth things out. And maybe she was also worried that he got nuts.
Yeah. She was like, this is very hard for me. You know, she didn't want to hurt his feelings, but she didn't want to do anything she wasn't uncomfortable with.
But also, he didn't let her explain. That's why she chased him. She didn't want to just be portrayed as an asshole who said, yeah, I'm not into you. But she had her reasons that are legit. So she follows him. And he's like, can we finish? Let me explain.
He laughed in her face like
Ugh, so rude.
like his feelings were the only ones that mattered. When she's like, oh, this is hard. He was like, no, I'm sure this is hard for her. She's not
Yeah.
getting heartbroken, but it's hard to break someone's heart,
for
especially
sure.
when you know it's on television. There's people watching.
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with this afterwards. Yeah, it's hard for her too.
But she didn't do anything wrong. She basically says, we live very different lifestyles, right? And Chad is like, how are we living different lifestyles? It's like, Chad, as you told her, you just work and cut your grass. You don't travel. You don't want to do more fun things that she's looking forward to in life, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't just want to settle down and become a small town housewife. She wants to finish her school. She wants to have fun. And that's not where you are in life. And this should be okay for you to accept. Be like, you know what? That's great because I can see it now. Moving forward, let's stay friends. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Where it really went awry is when she said, well, we can still be friends.
Ooh.
He's like, I'm never coming back to Colombia. Why would I want to be friends with you?
He's like, why the fuck would I want to be friends with you? Why should I care about you?
But here's the thing. He says, I would never come back to Colombia. Like that was always the plan, that I'm going to one and done. So he thought he was going to go to Colombia, just pluck a girl like off an assembly line and bring her home.
Yeah.
He didn't think, oh, I got to come back. I got to nurture this relationship. I got to romance her a little bit. He was just like, you're coming with me. Hop in the back of this John Deere. It's like, no. So going in, if that was true, maybe he was just saying it in the heat of the moment because he was so pissed. But if it was like, no, I just came here to pick one of y'all out and go home, then he was failed from the start.
Like dating a foreigner means that you will be traveling. If nowhere else, then you'll be traveling to that foreigner's homeland. It's just given.
Yeah, go see the family, go see your friends.
Just go see the land, the country. Unless the foreign female or male come from countries that are dangerous that they try to escape. In that case, well, maybe don't go.
Yeah.
But Colombia, I'm sure she would be going back.
100%.
It's super close. It's affordable to fly because I have some friends from Colombia. So why not? And you're right. The way he said it, it was very like, wait a minute. So I get you don't travel. This is the first time you've been outside a country, but that doesn't mean that would be the last.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all wrong. He handled it completely wrong.
Completely.
I think if he's actually looking for love, there was a great marketing campaign for him in the beginning of the season where everyone would watch him and go, oh, what a sweet guy, unlucky in love, 2 failed engagements. 3 now. Well, no, not 3 now, but.
No, 3.
Was it 3?
Yeah, this would be the 4th if he proposed.
But okay, we were feeling bad for him. We thought, oh, what a sweet guy, working hard, gets up early. And I think a lot of people would have slid into his DMs and said, let me take you out for a whiskey.
Yeah, but there are a lot of women out there who would love the country lifestyle, who would want to stay home, raise kids, watch him trim his yard. Absolutely, there are people in the world who like that. I think there is a person for everyone, but what he's trying to do and rushing into things, not thinking, that's just ridiculous.
No, I agree. And that's the whole thing is now that people have seen Chad for who he is, they're going to be unsending that message.
For sure.
I think he blew it, not just with Maria and Beba, but with the population at large.
For sure.
So cut to the next day. Chad is at the hotel. He's packing up. Knock at the door. It's Juan.
Yes. And Juan is like, wait, are you leaving? I thought you were staying longer.
My time here is done, Juan. I've had enough. I've had enough of these women.
He is so silly. I don't want to give Juan any credit, but if he paid for a certain amount of time, right? Well, if there is one more girl he could go out with, maybe.
Yes, I'm here with you. I mean, in my book, Juan is 2 for 2, but he's 0 for 2 with his singles because Natalie took off.
Yeah.
And now Chad's taking off.
Yeah, because he sings. But I was just going to say, maybe after he acted, production was like, well, maybe you should not go out with another woman because this was not bueno. Although they still aired it, so.
Oh, yeah. No, I think, well, it was great entertainment.
It was great.
But I think you may be right. Production could have been like, you know, for everyone's well-being, let's just call it a day.
Yeah. But if I put it back on Juan, well, it is just a reassurance that he sucks. Not for Chad, however. Chad loves Juan. He's like, I never talked to anyone about a relationship like I talked to Juan. Maybe to my daddy, but he's not with us anymore.
Yeah. And I found this interesting. Tell me if you picked up on this. I'm pretty sure Chad said he would go back to Colombia to see Juan. I think he was like, well, I when I get another vacation, I'll come see you.
Maybe.
I feel like, so maybe that was all just talk when he said, why would I ever come back here? I'm not coming back.
Well, not for Maria, but maybe for Juan.
Maybe Juan, I'm telling you, this is the most successful relationship of the season.
Well, Juan said he talked to Maria and she said that she knows that anger wasn't just at her. Like Chad has some past hurt, past pain that basically all that went into his explosion, right? But Chad needs to apologize. So Juan teaches him how to send a voicemail.
So here's my thought on that. I think that was production driven. I think that was, you know what? We want to hear what you're saying to her.
That's a good
point.
point.
We're not putting text messages on screens. That's not this show. So maybe just talk it into your phone.
I was just going to say, at first, I thought that Juan was showing him how to send a text message using your voice. But he
That's
wasn't.
What he was doing.
No.
Voice message.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're using WhatsApp because my parents use it, so I know the interface. You can send voice messages there. Because of his accent, I don't think a voice message from like voice to text would pick up on everything he says.
Right.
I have accent and sometimes there's some interesting things happening. Yeah. And I usually send random things to you. For example, when I'm driving, I'm like about pulling off from the parking lot. I just say, going home now, right?
Yeah.
Like easy things, yes. But if I was going to send you 5 paragraphs of something, there would be a lot of typos because of my accent. And he has an accent too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you were going to send something from the heart, which is what Juan said. Yeah, he was like, Juan's like, well, I think a voice message would be better than typing. And Chad's like, well, how do you do that? And Juan's like, you do it from the heart, brother. You do it from the heart. So Chad says, okay. And he voice messages, I wanted to apologize for the way I carried on the other night. You're a great person. I used some language I shouldn't have used. I hope you forgive me. Talk to you later. No, you're not never going to talk to her.
Never.
Chad, never again.
But we know now that she apparently accepted his apology, but they never spoke again.
Yeah, which is probably for the best.
For the absolute best. But, so should we be giving the updates as we go through the couples?
I think that's
so
smart.
The great update about Chad is that apparently he met someone online from Germany and he's planning a trip. Which makes me think, all right, is he going to kind of shift over to one of our other shows?
Yeah.
I would love to go to Germany. We've never had anyone from Germany on 90 Day. Yeah. Besides our friend Andy. Shout out to Andy.
Shout out to Andy. Yeah, no, that's right. All right, yeah, I'm thinking maybe Chad can handle his beer a little better than his whiskey. So, yeah, get your ass to Germany.
I would love to see Chad in Germany.
All right. I mean, I'll watch Chad anywhere. To be honest, I mean, most likely we'll probably see him on an episode of Cops coming to a TV near you.
Potentially a Dateline.
Cops, then Dateline, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm here to watch Chad.
He's off. He's like, I'm gonna go home, cut my yard, and keep going.
Sounds like Chad. All right, I think that's a good place to pause. We will take a quick break, tell you about some sponsors for this episode. And when we come back, we're going to go to Teresa's homeland.
Yes. I mean, I know.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
Hey guys, Teresa's here. Time for an Obvi update. Brought to you by today's sponsor, Obvi. It's been about 2 months since I started taking Obvi's Super Collagen Protein and their apple cider vinegar gummies. And it's literally become the best part of my health and wellness journey. I look forward to it every morning. 2 scoops of the Peanut Butter Cup Super Collagen Protein Powder and 2 apple cider vinegar gummies. Not only does it taste great, I feel great too! And don't worry, if you don't love peanut butter, what's wrong with you? Obvious Super Collagen Protein comes in other delicious flavors too, like fruity cereal and caramel macchiato. All with 10 grams of collagen, 9 grams of protein, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and only 40 calories. I've also started to include Obvious Burn capsules into my regimen as well. It's the first collagen-infused fat burner, formulated to curb your hunger and boost your energy, all while improving your hair, skin, and nails. What more could I ask for, guys? Now, here's the best part. Our listeners can get 25% off today with code MERIT at myobvi.com. That's myobvi.com and use promo code MERIT to get 25% off today. That's 25% off your entire order. I'll also make John put a link in the show notes. So thank you, Abby, for sponsoring this podcast. And let Abby help you reach your goals this summer.
Na
zdraví!
This episode is brought to you by Drizzly.
Want to know what's even easier than throwing a drink?
Should I ask Benny's sister? Or maybe Kimberly knows?
I'll tell you. Getting a drink delivered right to your doorstep with Drizzly, your go-to app for alcohol delivery.
Of course. Drizzly lets you shop local stores, compare prices, and have your favorites delivered right to your door. Drama-free.
Exactly. No cake throwing, no name calling, just a smooth and tailored shopping experience.
Drama's fun to watch, but we prefer a hassle-free experience when it comes to getting our drinks.
Absolutely. Why leave the couch when the drinks can come to you?
I agree. Just download the Drizzly app or visit drizzly.com today. That's DRIZLY.com today.
So, thank you, Drizzly, for sponsoring our podcast, and I'll have John put a link in our show notes.
You must be 21 plus and availability varies by location. And we're back.
Ahoy, Jonathan.
Ahoy, Teresa. Totally redeemed herself after the break.
Totally.
Will Harold redeem himself is the question.
It was a big moment of growth for our boy Harold.
You think so?
I do. I think this whole switching from proposing to giving her something to remember him by, I kind of dialing back on forcing something that's not there yet.
You're falling for it, Teresa. You're falling for it.
I thought it was good. Let's give Harold some credit.
I think Harold was couching a proposal. He was hiding a proposal in a moment of growth. I don't think it was a true moment of growth where he was like, you know what, the proposal was crazy. Let me just give you this as something to remember me by. I think it was like, but if you want to say yes, this is a ring.
No, I think if she said, yes, I want to be your girlfriend, he would propose.
Okay.
But because of her saying, no, we need more time, it would be silly to propose. You cannot propose to someone who said no to being your girlfriend.
Oh, you sure could.
That would be out of control.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. But I don't think it'd be the first time. But let's talk about it because Harold, the clock is counting down. Time is running out. He's got to go back to Prague today, but he's not going to give up that easily. He's got one last chance to woo Misha.
Yeah, so he's still in Hradec Králové, which is Misha's hometown, right? Mm-hmm. And here's why I realize that I sometimes forget that Harold is on the spectrum and he sees things a little differently than maybe you and I, because he says, well, I don't understand why Misha said no to being my girlfriend. I mean, she checks all the boxes, but that's for him. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes he doesn't fully understand that maybe he doesn't check all the boxes for her. Yeah. One of them is, they don't know each other too well. The other one, they live too far. Maybe she's not down for a long distance relationship, right?
Exactly.
So, but it makes sense because of how he sees the world.
Sure. And he's laying it on thick. It's right. He's still trying to, he thinks there's still a chance. I think he gets to the apartment. He's getting the tour. He's like, oh, it's a nice view, but you're the better view. He's,
he's smooth.
That's not friend talk. That's not friendship talk. That's not a friendship ring.
He's going for the boop.
Oh, yeah. So they sit down and Harold's like, I've been thinking about how we're on different speeds in this relationship. And Misha's like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking about that, too.
Hold on. Let me just say, that's like a classic Czech apartment. My grandma has an apartment that looks very similar.
Hold on. Check flat the segment. Do you call them flats? Because she called it a flat.
Yeah, we would probably say flat.
I've never heard you say flat.
Well, we say apartments are more so for rent. But like for rent, like you go on a vacation.
Okay.
Otherwise, we say bit, which the translation would be flat.
Okay.
Or maybe we just go with a British version more. But we say, we have the word apartment.
Okay.
But it's, again, more so like, I'm traveling, I'm going to rent an apartment.
Okay. Well, continue.
So
classic apartment.
Very class. She needs a little more decoration, I guess. But that's a very classic. You remember I showed you where I grew up?
Yeah, it looked like a communist bloc in
Yeah.
the Czech Republic.
Literally. So that's the similar idea. There are a lot of these communities, and a lot of them are being updated, right? The ones I grew up in, they're updating everything slowly. But those were the apartments that for example, my parents got married. And when you did that 35, 40 years ago, right? You applied to get an apartment in the town, anywhere. And then based on your job and everything, they gave you the apartment.
Interesting.
So you had to pay for it, but you didn't pick it.
Okay.
You just were assigned the apartment that eventually my parents bought. And then they sold it when they bought a house. But it's like the similar structure. They all look more or less the same.
Okay.
And this was the classic Czech apartment. I just wanted to point it out.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. So then we get this conversation where Harold says, yeah, I think we're on different speeds. And Misha says, oh, I think we are too. 1 week, it's a really hard decision. You live far away. I need time. And Harold's like, well, you kissed me on the first date. So you kind of sent some mixed signals there, Misha.
Well, Harold, you kissed her. She just didn't pull back.
Right. And Misha's like, well, we have great potential. There is potential for you to be my boyfriend, but we just got to take our time.
Who always said something about potential? Who is it?
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, yeah. The potential girlfriend.
Yeah.
Potential fiancé.
Yeah, Misha is soldier boying Harold a little bit. But yeah, you're a potential. So Harold's like, oh, well, you've inspired love, and I'm happy about that. And I did a little shopping. And he reaches into his pocket, and this is like do or die for him. There's seconds left on the shot clock. He needs that grand gesture.
Yes, and he's like, I feel the ring burning in my pocket.
Back in the hotel when he put it in his pocket, he's like, oh, well, you can see this. This is no good. Where's the element of surprise in this?
Well, so Harold says, I bought this with the intention to propose. And pause. And Misha, no.
See?
No.
She goes, oh, no.
Well, because imagine, I've never been proposed to by anyone but you. And I said yes. And it was a beautiful experience for you and me. I blacked out. It was beautiful. Blacked out from excitement. For her, imagine the first time she's being proposed to and she would say no. It would be hurtful for her and for him.
Of course. But this is where I say, oh, he was couching friendship in a proposal. Like, this was still, if she wanted to say yes, he was giving her the chance to say yes to a proposal.
Maybe. Let's give him some credit here, because then after she said no, Harold goes, I know. After a conversation we had, I just decided to give it to you to show how serious I am.
Yeah.
I want you to have something to remember me by. And this is a promise. This is a promise ring that I won't forget you, and I want to make it work. I'll wait for you.
No strings attached,
Yes.
he says. And then Misha just goes, I don't have anything for you. Her reactions to this entire conversation was hilarious. From, oh, no. To, oh, but I didn't buy anything for you. It was so great. And so then Harold's like, all right, well, what happens now? We can talk. And Misha's like, yeah, message me and let me know you arrive safe.
Poor Harold. He's like, well, I thought we could talk before.
He's like, I was hoping we could talk more than that.
Yeah.
More than just like, I landed safely.
Yes, but Misha says she should have some time off in the next 3 months. So she would love to plan a trip and potentially go and see his home and see where he's from. And then she says the infamous sentence.
No, it's just the other one. It's just the second one.
Yeah, well, someone should
All right, put a little
think
check
about
on it. Yeah, put a little check on it.
Hello, America.
Great editing, TLC.
Great editing, you sluts.
We were glued to
We
the
were like,
television
oh my
waiting.
God, like he's whipping out the ring. She says, hello, America. All of us were like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. No, it's not happening, but I think this is good. I think Harold left great impression on her.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying I think he handled it well. Chad should watch this and take notes.
Yeah. Oh, Harold, if nothing else, was a gentleman all the way through.
Oh, absolutely. But he could get, not that he would shut up, but he could get upset and leave, be like, well,
Sure.
okay, bye, I don't want to see you again. But no.
He could throw the ring at her a la Natalie.
and Alla Angela and Alla Kimberly, and I can keep going.
Oh, yeah. Sure. It's 90 Day Fiancé, isn't it? But so, yes, great editing. Then they go outside. They say goodbye. It looked a little more like friends saying goodbye to me, but there was a boop.
There was a boop.
There was a little boop.
After a week, I mean, hello.
It was just, it was a little awkward, but there was a boop. And Harold's very positive. He's positive about the future. He even thinks Misha might ask him to be her boyfriend.
Okay, Harold, listening to this podcast.
There's only one check that does that.
Not all checks do that.
Yeah.
It was just me, I guess. So don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. So, okay, we cut to Harold meeting up with Katerina. And I'm pretty sure Harold's wearing his wedding outfit. I'm pretty sure he packed that in case he found himself at the altar and he's like, well, there's no wedding on this trip, but I guess, I'm not going to let this go to waste, because he showed up wearing a suit.
But Katarina loves it. I think it's one of the outfits that they picked for him. He just combined it all. He just put it all on. And little bow tie. I think that's very Harold.
Classic Harold.
And Katarina loves it, I think. And I think she did a great job with him. I think no matter if they end up talking or if they end up meeting or not, I think this trip was everything to Harold, that he could see that there are women out there for me.
Sure.
And whether they're in the Czech Republic or in New Mexico, they are out there. Now I learned a little something about love, how to not rush, how to maybe update my closet just a little bit. Still keep being me, right? Add the suspenders, but not everything needs a Hawaiian shirt and parrots. And I think this was an amazing experience for Harold. And I'm glad that our boy Harold went to Katarina and not to freaking Juan. Because Juan would destroy him.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
He would destroy his hopes and dreams.
You do. You're very positive about Harold's experience. I was a little sad because he was a little sad. When the producer asked as he was packing to leave, are you leaving sad or are you leaving happy? He said, happy, but it's really close to sad. Because he's putting all of his eggs in this engagement basket. And I think he feels like, if I'm not engaged, I'm nothing. But no, you met a great woman. You have a connection. It should be all happy.
Yes, but here's the thing. I hate to say, but engagement isn't everything.
No.
Right? Marriage isn't everything if you're not married to the right person.
Exactly.
And so him getting engaged and then Misha potentially calling him saying, actually, it's not working out. That would be more hurtful than her being honest saying, we need more time to get to know each other. You live so far away. So I hope that Harold will absorb all this experience and realize that this was the best case scenario. Maybe potentially she could say yes to be his girlfriend. But again, if she wasn't feeling it, would he rather be brokenhearted 2 weeks later when she would text him that this is not working out, or stay friends and see how things are?
Right. So give us the update. Hit us with after the show finished filming.
So they've been talking, not as often as Harold would like.
But what is that? I mean, Harold wants to be branded and married 24/7 on FaceTime.
But I'll tell you this, Harold, and all the friends who are listening, it's not easy with the time change. And I'm just 6 hours from the Czech Republic. He's 8.
Yeah.
No, wait. New Mexico, I think it's 9. I think New Mexico is on Pacific. Yeah. That's a lot. That's crazy amount of hours that sometimes I don't get to talk to my parents often. We maybe exchange a couple of texts, but it's more so, are you doing okay? I call them. I make sure
2
to
hours.
call them. Oh, okay.
2
So
hours.
still, it's 8 hours. That's a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, she couldn't respond to you when you were in her country. So, Harold, just be happy that she's responding at all.
True. They need to just, maybe what I do with my parents, I usually call them on the weekend or sometimes during the week if I have the time, which is not too often. But set up the time, set up some checkpoints like, hey, every Saturday or Sunday.
Checkpoints. Hello.
Let's talk at 1 p.m. my time and 8 p.m. her, or 9 p.m. 8.
Oh, boy. Time zone's the segment.
9 p.m. her time, and say hello and make it work this way. Don't just expect texting all the time because it's very hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of changing time zones is hard. Let's not change time zones then. Let's stay in the Czech Republic.
Yes.
Let's make this easy on ourselves.
Let's pack as well.
Yeah.
Michelle's packing, going back to the US, and she loved her day with Pavol, right? And we get this little
That makes one of us. Michelle.
What are you talking about?
Katerina stinks. I'm over Katerina. I told you this.
Katerina is...
Katerina, get out of here.
Katerina is the bomb.
I'm surprised Katerina wasn't sitting in the back of that BMW trying to get her last claim to fame before the season ends.
I don't think she needs it. I think she has a lot of clients. But
No,
Katerina...
she just loves being on TV. She loves having her husband be on TV. She doesn't need to be there every scene.
No, I love her. And I love that she said she knew they will hit it off. But I think she was trying to see if Michelle wanted to go on the second date with Michal, the first date, because she wasn't vibing it. Do you remember? And Michelle said, "Yeah, let's give it a shot." And Katerina wasn't vibing it, and then she set them up on the date with her husband to really show them that they're not a good match.
Yep.
So then she's like, I have this guy for you. She knew that they were hit it off. It's just, you cannot force it on Michelle. If Michelle feels like a second date with Michal was good, well, you need to learn, right?
I'm not saying her matchmaking abilities are bad. I'm saying I don't think she needs to be on every date with her
she's
matches.
Not.
All right.
What are you talking about? Nina went on a date with Stanika too.
And I didn't like it one bit.
Okay, well, I think this was good. She just helped to speed up things.
Also, Stanika had never dated anyone. So that's a whole other case. She needed a little hand holding.
Yeah, so you have Nina walking behind him like a dog. At least Katarina came, played a game, and left.
Okay.
There's a purpose.
All right.
Katarina's great. And thanks to her games, they got to know each other very, very fast and answered some of those delicate questions that Czech men would not discuss on a first or second or third date, right? Now, Pavol is interested, and so is Michelle.
Michelle's very interested. They're in the car driving to the airport and talking about the wine. And, oh, thank you, Pavol, for picking out this wine. You really know your wines. And he's like, oh, yes, Chianti. And then she says, yeah, maybe we can go to Chianti for our honeymoon. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but Pavol was fine. He didn't freak out or anything. And he said, well, I would love to stay in touch and maybe we do some hiking. I guess he knows something about North Carolina, which is great. And he's like, let's see if we can be a couple after.
Yeah, which Michelle obviously likes that idea. So they get to the airport and they say goodbye. And it's just a hug.
No boop.
No boop. Just a hug. Terrible. This to me is the end of the relationship.
No, it's not, because...
Well,
they are talking.
Well, they're talking. But I was going to say, you need to mark your territory. You need to leave them thinking about you. If you're not giving them a promise ring to look down at their finger and look at and think about you every time, you got to leave a lasting impression. You got to give a kiss.
Yeah, I think they both regretted it, but maybe the cameras are on them. She's trying to catch a flight. He doesn't strike me as a guy who makes the first moves or who's a little more aggressive when it comes to love. I think he was maybe waiting for a signal, or, you know, like sometimes you see it in movies, they stand in front of each other saying bye 3 times and then it's kind of the move.
I was actually waiting because the music was playing and I was getting emotional. I was waiting for him to like pull the e-brake, have the BMW make a Yui, and he goes back and he runs up to her. He's like, but wait, I just need to give you a kiss goodbye.
After one date?
Yeah, I was waiting for a big romantic gesture.
No, it didn't happen, but...
Because they leaving like this, they're leaving as friends. There's nothing romantic. You need to make your mark and make it known that this is romantic now.
Well, you don't know what they're texting each other.
Very true.
So, yes, they're still talking.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right.
And
I don't see them working out, but okay.
I could see them working out.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to put all my eggs into that basket, but I would say 50-50.
Right.
I think they have a potential, but it's the same thing. He lives in Czech. He has a good job. She lives in the US. She's a princess and something else. So they would just need to figure out where to go, where to live, who's going to move, how. There is a lot to figure out if they can make it work.
Here's what I would like for a season 2 of Match Me Abroad. Give me a few new singles and then follow up with Stanika, follow up with Michelle, follow up with Harold.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I think that would be interesting.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of
Stanika,
Stanika. Hey!
she's back home
Mississippi.
talking to Noureddine on the phone, and she's only been home for 3 days, but she's missing him so much.
That's good. That's good. So they're talking about plans to see each other again.
Yes, and Noureddine's like, when are you coming back? And she's like, well, when are you coming to visit? And Noureddine says, well, I would love to, but you need to write me a letter.
Well, he said I need an invitation.
And it's very true.
Okay, and I believe that now. At first, I thought he was kind of being shy and saying, like, you need to properly invite me. Like, I'm not just going to invite myself to your city. You need to invite me. He was talking about immigration, though.
Yes, and before Czech Republic, that kind of established this, it's called, I forgot what the proper name is, but it's basically no visa entry. You just need to apply online and you get it immediately, right, for 3 months. But before that, when we went to visit my aunt and uncle, they had to write us letters, invitation letters, where they stated everything, how long we were staying, they're going to take care of us, if anything, they will be the point of contact. And to this day, I still do it for my parents because they don't speak English.
Right.
So when they're coming to see us in the fall, I will write them an invitation letter they can give to the immigration associate at the airport, that they could understand that my parents are coming for 2 weeks. They will be leaving on this date. You and I are the point of contact. They will be staying with us at this address, blah, 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 blah. So they don't have any follow-up questions and they don't think that my parents are going to be wondering about the U.S. for a year or so, right?
Yep.
So
That makes sense.
it's a real thing, but for certain countries, they don't have those relationships with the U.S. It's more difficult.
Yeah, so that's what Nourdine's saying.
Yes.
And Stanika understands, and he goes, it'll be easier to get the visa if I have a letter saying, you want me to come see you, my future wife. Hello.
Which I'm a little nervous. That letter would have to state something about, I don't know, because there is, I'm just trying to organize my thoughts. If the letter said, oh, my future wife, the immigration officer could look at it as, all right, he's trying to get to the U.S., right? But it would need to say something about that she's going to move to Morocco. He's just going to meet her family, or just make it sound like he is not trying to go get to the U.S., right?
Especially because it seems so soon.
Yeah.
To throw out wife, you guys have met once in person. To throw out wife seems like a red flag. But I get what he's trying to say.
Yeah, it probably would be better if they just said, oh, my good friend Noureddine is going to come and visit me for a week, blah, 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 show both plane tickets.
Or my fiance. Just say my fiance.
Yeah.
Because that's not even a real thing. I know that's my big stance. It's like a fiance, anyone could be, there's no legal term.
You asked me to be your fiance.
I know, but I'm just saying there's nothing in the system. Once you get married, there's something in the system saying, oh yeah, you guys are actually legally married. There's nothing in the system when you get proposed to.
No, it's a lovely gesture.
It's just symbolic.
Yes.
So they could just say, oh yeah, I'm going to see my fiance.
Let me tell you this. Immigration officers do check social media. It's wild that you need to, like when you're trying to do this and some people scam, they can go to your social media because, let's be honest, whoever is married or engaged, you share that on social media because that's a big milestone, right? And if you say you're engaged and they go to your social media and you're not even Facebook friends, there are no photos, no evidence of you two ever being involved, well, red flag.
Big red flag. But you said it before. You said, oh, well, tell them that the plan is to live in Morocco. Stanika said that. Stanika's like, oh, yeah, I'm even open to moving to Morocco, and I'm going to go visit him again in a couple of months.
Which is great. Like, that's something we needed to hear from more people. To hear that they both are open to do the move.
Bounce back and forth. That's a real relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. The end. Sad.
That's it. That's it. The final episode of Match Me Abroad.
Beautiful.
Yeah. What a season. What a season. So much check. Just beautiful.
Beautiful.
Checked all my boxes. Had everything I needed.
I love seeing Czech on TV and these Czech peeps just navigating the world of 90 Day Fiancé spin-off number 532.
Exactly. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed the season as much as we did. If nothing else, we hope you guys enjoyed hearing our thoughts on it.
Yes.
Because Teresa had a few.
Always.
Teresa had a few. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys want more, we're on Patreon. Ad-free, at the $3 level. And then if you want the other way, well, join us on the Cousins Club or the Family Affair level.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. You can message us. Check out the memes, news. It's all there at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also, make sure you're following the podcast. So no matter what we drop on the free feed, no matter when we drop it, you'll get it right to your device. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's yes hard. Yes. And I'm going to repeat myself this freaking season because it was amazing.
So hot. Burn yourself on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So smash like it's as hot as this season. We hope there'll be a season number 2. No word of it yet. Not that we've heard, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. You guys know we're suckers for some love. And if you haven't left a review, if you write something and you leave a 5-star review, we'll read it on the Monday podcast.
Yes.
Right now it is the B90 podcast. And what a season that is.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, it's a sad day in Match Me Abroad history because it is the final day.
But it's a happy day because now John and I can really kick off our vacation.
Now we can kick off our vacation and we'll be filling this time slot with something else.
Yes.
Which we think we have to double check our calendars, but we think it's going to be.
It's going to be the infamous.
Oh, so far, yeah.
The one that's
the name precedes itself.
Spoken of for a year.
Yes,
I'm just waiting for you to say it because I forgot the name.
Well, I'm trying.
The Last Resort.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the plan. That's the plan.
That's the plan, Stan.
We got to double check everything and make sure there's no conflicts with timing and scheduling and all that. But I think that's the next show to come to the free feed.
Yes.
Is The Last Resort,
and it's going to be. It's looking wild.
Its reputation precedes itself. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yes,
because it looks spicy. All right.
It does.
That is that. Thank you guys again for listening. I think I've said it all.
Always and forever.
You've said it all?
I've said it all.
Oh.
Děkujeme.
All right, děkujeme.
Thank you.
Děkujeme.
Thanks for the love. Děkujeme za tu podporu a lásku.
Whoa. I don't know what just happened.
I said it in English too.
Big finish. Stuck the landing.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
All
I wish I knew something in Moroccan and Spanish, but...
Yes. All right. Well, adios. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.